Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Welcome. I hope you had a good night's sleep. Today is another day of a conference, and in the morning you will have the opportunity to meet the winners who you saw yesterday evening on the stage, and now they are here with us. We will have 3 Meet the Winner sessions. First, we will talk with the Grand Prix winners, documentary, and then we will have a talk with Diversity in Society winners. And at the end, we will talk and discuss her work, Nicola Rees, the VJ winner. So I will hand it over to James Vincent, who was the chair of documentary category.
Thank you much, sir. Yeah, I'm James Vincent from BBC Yorkshire, and I, as Much just said, I was the judge, the chair of the category for documentary, and we chose this documentary, and in the end, it won the big prize as well. So congratulations, first of all. This is Mila and Berta from Trescat, who produced the documentary. It was called "They Will Make a Man of You: Silence Deaths." Let's just watch a very quick clip first, and then I'll ask you a couple of questions, if that's okay.
Okay.
Criaturas.
¿Dónde me he metido? ¿Qué hago yo?
Debes plorar, pilda, 2 metres com a nens petits.
Te decían firmes y te pegaban un puñetazo en el pecho. Moratón, le tiramos en todos sitios.
Vaig passar molta por. Va ser molt bèstia.
So as that clip clearly showed, the background to the documentary is nearly 2,000 young men lost their lives during military service. It's a dramatic documentary. It's a very creative documentary. It was a follow-up to a documentary the year before, and I think a lot of the people in this one had seen your previous work and contacted you and said, "This happened to my family too." How important was it to do this second documentary with so many more witnesses?
Very important, point. Good morning, everyone. I'm Mireia. I'm from Trescat. And this is very important for us because it was a first documentary, and the title, "They Will Make a Man Out of You." There were 10 testimonies from men who, for the first time in 40 years, spoke about the serious abuses they had suffered. There was a first documentary. In that first documentary, there was also a lawyer from that period who spoke about the number of young men who attempted suicide or who took their own lives. He also talked about young men who died in military barracks in Spain without any clear explanation. Many families, when saw that first documentary, wrote to us, to 3CAT company, asking us to investigate these cases. It's the best service we can do as a public television, and so we did it. We start a second documentary that is a weird documentary. We chose 4 siblings of those young men who died to make the second documentary. And that is how everything began, with a meeting between those siblings, which we filmed in a typical mountain house near Barcelona, at 100 kilometers far away from Barcelona. And this became the narrative thread of the second documentary with these siblings,
Yeah. It was an amazing start to the documentary as well. That was that sort of calm start to it, and then obviously them talking about their
with
their
the
families.
nature and when it is involved.
Absolutely. And that clip there showed a bit of the mannequins and the way that the documentary took some brave choices to illustrate the story. The judges were particularly impressed with the use of the mannequins because it felt like to us it was quite a brave decision, and it could have worked, it could have not worked, but it really did work. Talk us through the decision to do that and the creative process that you went through to do that.
Yeah, the idea of using mannequin came from my colleague, the co-director Joan Torrents. And when I say to me, I immediately thought, yeah, it's a brilliant idea. And the mannequin, you see, built specifically for our documentary, yeah, and allowed us to reconstruct all the abuses and severe humiliation, even tortures, that soldiers suffered in the military barracks. The mannequin has no face, no expression, and represented any anonymous soldier. So we are sure that the men who suffered these abuses were able to feel very well represented by it. It was a great resource, and as I was saying, it was a very good idea, and yeah.
And another one of the creative decisions that you'll probably, if you watch it, and please make sure you watch it, it's great. The mannequins are all the way through, and it just gives you and it was just interesting watching that clip there, seeing the young men in the old footage, and then the mannequins. It was a really interesting juxtaposition.
Yeah, thank you.
And one of the other creative things in the documentary is the passage of time, and the judges really picked out that example of, you needing to tell the story of this man searching for his brother at that point, and he was on Facebook, and he was sat at his kitchen table, but the way that you illustrated through the cinematography the passing of time was so wonderfully done and so creative as well.
You.
So yeah. Have we got this man to thank as well?
Yeah. Always made by Joan.
But it was such a beautiful sequence.
Yeah. Regarding the passage of the time in the testimony of that man, he is writing and asking for help in Facebook. And yeah, he wrote in 2018, and the pass of the days and the time, it's important to highlight the use of lighting in his living room, and we wanted it to be clearly visible. The days and years were passing and passing through the different light entering in his living room, in his home.
Yeah. And the other thing that you did really creatively, I guess you can call the wall of silence, in terms of you didn't get many responses from the government or the military. So just talk us through how the documentary deals with, and every documentary gets to this point, don't you? If you don't have any statements or cooperation from the authorities that you're trying to get answers from, you need a way to illustrate the fact that those questions are still unanswered. And that was another creative part of the documentary.
Yeah, it was very important because the Spanish Ministry of Defense and the military archive did not help us at all, and closed the door on all the information requests we made with our investigative colleague, and it was a wall of silence, completed wall of silence, and we wanted to place our investigative colleague in front of concrete wall with all the negative responses from the ministry. It wasn't easy, but we believe we managed to achieve it. We filmed it in an old building near Barcelona, an abandoned former power plant with walls over 10 meters. And we put our colleague in a table with a little computer and a laptop, her laptop, and the wall, it makes the responses from Spanish Ministry of Defense, and the real answers. We put the real answers in the wall, and yeah, and that's
yeah, and I think it sort of really illustrates the loneliness sometimes of being a journalist, and you're writing out your requests to government, and sometimes they you get these standard replies sometimes, and the way that was illustrated on screen was fascinating.
If you want to say something,
Should we have another clip and see? Let's have a bit more of the documentary to see.
Yeah.
de que es mori un fill és molt dur. Va ser un altre cop a la meva família. Un cop dur que encara ara, a les meves germanes i a mi, al recordar-ho, ens costa perquè...
És molt difícil de pair tant dolor, d'acord?
Però no està curat.
No està allà.
Està allà i la brota i...
I va ser una llàstima perquè no són persones que han mort molt joves i que tenien tota la vida per endavant i sempre penses, ostres, i si hagués tingut fills i com seria i com gaudiria, no, d'ara dels nebots, bueno.
El meu pare mor al setembre del 84, jo a l'octubre del 84 faig 20 anys i vaig a la mili.
And that was, you know, another thing that we really loved about the documentary. There was individual stories, but you brought them all together, and it was almost like
like a therapy.
Yeah, of course.
Like a group therapy.
Yeah. How important was that?
Very important. They no es coneixien. They
didn't know each other.
They didn't know each other, and we put them in the same table, and during 4 hours they speaking each other their stories, and that was wonderful because they did it very well. Yeah.
And that's the power of sometimes news, because all these families were going through these things individually, and they didn't know other families were going through these things, and you brought them together, so that was very important as well.
In fact, han creat una plataforma de víctimes.
They've created a victims platform for the military service victims.
And the campaign goes on because this documentary has been discussed in parliaments. There's campaigns with politicians now. How important has this documentary been in Catalonia and Spain?
Yeah. Our documentaries about the abuses and death during compulsory military service have had a very wide social and political impact. The day after the documentary was broadcast, many relatives of deceased young men came together and created the Victims Military Service platform. A week later, they were received by Catalan Parliament, and Catalan politicians used an institutional declaring calling on the Spanish government to open a parliamentary inquiry in the Congress in Madrid. So far, the Spanish government has refused to do. The two major Spanish parties, the Socialist Party PSOE and the right-wing PP, do not want to talk about it. 40 years after the events, Spain continues to cover up the military leadership of that time, despite the fact that the country was already in democracy. The victims are still fighting. They want the military to acknowledge the events and to apologize. They do not want anything else. The crimes are now expired.
And do you think there might be more documentaries to make on this issue? Oh, you might not want to say. You might be a secret. But
No,
there's
we stopped to in fact, we had done 2 documentaries about the compulsory military service and the facts, and we explain while Spain that happened in those years, 80s, 90s in Spain democracy, and we stop it. That is
It's done for now.
Yeah.
And I just wondered what you'd say to other journalists who were in the room, and lots of regional, national journalists that might look at this documentary and think, "Wow, this is incredible." What's your message to how journalists can make a difference in their own communities, but, for example, like with your documentary, for the whole country as well?
Yeah, for us it's so important. We are a team from 3CAT, and TV3 is the public television from Catalonia. And yes, you're right, the regional media carry out first-class investigative journalism. We have very close access to the witnesses, and we draw on highly valuable local sources. At TV3, we are very aware of this, and for years we have been committed to producing investigative reports and documentaries that our audience can watch in prime time. It's
Yeah,
important
of course.
in our television. And our commitment to telling powerful stories like ours is very strong. My recommendation to all European colleagues is that we all continue bringing powerful stories to light, and that our journalism serves to bring out reparations for all victims, reparation justice, you know.
And it struck me because the second documentary was people who came to you and said, this happened to me. It shows how trusted regional media is. You know, there's national media and they do what they do, but people really trust regional media, and they saw your program and came to you and trusted you to tell their story, which is a really powerful thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and we are very proud that witnesses trust us to explain their stories, and this is very, very important for us. Yeah.
Thank you. Well, we'll have one more clip, I think, if that's okay. And if there's any questions after the clip, let us know.
Para un documental que estamos preparando, necesitamos consultar los expedientes militares de varios soldados fallecidos durante el servicio militar obligatorio. Se trata de soldados que perdieron la vida en diferentes cuarteles de España: Zaragoza, Barcelona, Ceuta y Melilla. Contamos con la autorización de los familiares para...
So that was the example of the creative way that those statements were shown. Is there anybody that's got any questions for the team from Trescat? Anybody at all? Hello, Charles.
Is there an official Secrets Act in Spain, and if so, would you have used it?
So, yeah, that's a good question. Is there a
Freedom of information it's freedom of information I meant.
yeah, freedom of information. So
No, que si hi ha una llei de llibertat, o sigui, que sobre aquesta informació que s'obliga a ser pública.
Sí, li pots dir que hi ha una llei de transparència i que no ha servit de res?
Yeah, there's like an act of transparency, but it didn't work with the military archives and in this time period especially.
Anybody else got any questions?
Were you able to watch the documentary online or from somewhere?
It is still online, isn't it? Still on your website.
On our platform, 3cat.cat.
And you can choose the subtitles with like any language.
Oh.
Just, yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
How many countries has it been shown? How many countries?
Quants països?
Shown.
How many countries has it been shown in? Have any other countries broadcast it?
No.
No, not yet. Well, they might do now.
Just in Catalonia and Spanish also, yeah. One private platform called Movistar is broadcast also our documentary, but just in Spain, yeah.
You should tell it.
So
Yeah?
I might have missed this at the beginning, but how many people worked on it and how long did it take? And how long...
As a
how
staff
how
or
that-
as the testimonies?
No, yeah, the team that made
The
it.
team,
and how long
12.
did it take? And how does that compare to other documentaries that you make?
Entre 10 i 12 persones, yeah.
Always
10, 12 people is our team is made for.
And
Yeah.
for 6 months, right?
See, 8 months we are working during this time, yeah.
So is it a weekly slot that you put out a documentary, or is it just... How often do you broadcast your documentaries, or is it a one-off? Or?
Cada quan els emetem?
Documentals in general, sí.
Every week is not our documentaries from my team, but the program is With Fiction is the name of the program, and is a program of documentaries that every week in prime time we broadcast documentaries in TV3. Yeah.
That's great. Anybody else?
And where do you think this story can go? Are you still pushing for an inquiry? Do you expect the government to eventually admit failings, or the military to admit failings?
Està parlant de la
On
investigació.
pot arribar la història si realment estem apretant per aconseguir...
Bueno, la plataforma de víctimes està fent el seu recorregut cap al Congrés dels Diputats, encara segueix, sí.
Yeah, now it depends on the victims platform, not from our side anymore, but they're making their way to the Congress, the Spanish Congress, to try and get this information to get disclosed.
And they continue to fight it, yeah. The path is so long.
Yeah, it's not easy.
No, it's not easy, no. In Spain, still covering up the military leaderships of those times, yeah.
I think, most nations will have seen similar cover-ups, similar failings in public decisions, public power, but it's just brilliant work from them. It will be a long process, but it will be better.
Anybody else? One final one from me. How proud are you of the team that made this?
Oh yeah, very proud. Yeah.
It must have been such a important thing for you guys to start and then to see it, the finished program, but then see it do so well and win some awards. It must be so great, and you must be so proud.
Yeah, thank you very much. We are so proud, and yesterday we were so happy.
And a big surprise at the end as well.
And a big surprise, yeah. We didn't expect the winner, the Prix, the maximum.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much to the team. No, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
No, thank you. And make sure you watch it. Genuinely, it's an incredible piece of filmmaking. So please watch it if you can.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Who's next?
Yeah. So we will continue with our next winner, the Diversity in Society winner. So I invite Kevin Burns, the chair of this category, and his guests.
Yeah, I have a few guests. We actually got some guests last night. Kersey, if you want to come, Kersey is the director. Elena is the producer, but unusually, we were, when I was at the gala last night, I was looking around and said, those faces look very familiar. And then we realised that Kersey had invited us to sit down and we'll get another chair.
The protagonist.
Yeah.
We got to know you better. So maybe for the beginning we can show it.
Yeah.
Finally tonight, we are going to talk about social media and how farmers are using it to promote the industry to a whole new generation. Joe Seals here is a beef and arable farmer turned YouTuber from Doncaster. A few years ago, he started posting videos on TikTok for a little bit of fun, and now he gets over 1 million viewers a month. That's incredible, isn't it? He says it's important to get young people to think about a career in farming. Nicola Reese has been filming him, filming himself.
Hello, I'm Joe Seals. I'm a beef and arable farmer from South Yorkshire, but people might know me more from being on YouTube. Hello and welcome to my daily vlog.
Every day for 3 years, Joe has filmed, edited and posted online a video about his work as a farmer.
So we're in the John Deere 6215. It's the highest horsepower tractor that we've got here on the farm, and we're going to go do some grass work with him.
The video started as a bit of fun and now gets over 1 million views each month.
I've just seen one of my friends had started using TikTok. So I thought, that's what looks quite fun actually. I'll have a go. That's the reality of farming. This is what you get the real deal here. You get the stalling tractors.
For Joe, it's much more than selfies and snapshots. It's a way to show people where their food comes from.
I think it's really important to be able to show agriculture just day to day. Like let people in to the farm, and hopefully we can inspire some young people into getting into a job in agriculture. showing the machinery is a big part of the YouTube channel. So today we've got the front mower on. Cows are all following us. They're very interested and intrigued as to what we're doing.
Farming fans love to see action from behind the scenes, and Joe films everything, which makes things tricky for me.
Right, so I've been sat in the tractor wheel here while Nicola's filming me. Yeah, are you relaxed down there?
It's alright, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm filming you, filming me.
Yeah, it's a weird sort of situation, isn't it? Right, come on.
This straight-talking farmer and his cows now have a solid fan base.
These guys are very inquisitive. The Aberdeen Angus, they're very interested in Nicola's bag there on the floor. I hope she likes cow slaver on it.
Joe's videos showcase the care and dedication that goes into raising his beef. Filming them adds to his workload, but he doesn't seem to mind.
You can stop. This is just one of the pieces that you have made. So Nicola, for the beginning, can you please say something about you? When did you start your career as a video journalist?
Oh, well, first I just wanted to say that it feels quite trivial following some of the people that you've had up here already, because we've seen people that have made things over a long period of time with quite a lot of production, and then I'm showing you something that I shot in 2 hours on a mobile phone, so it feels quite different and the other extreme, but I have been doing it for quite a long time. 15 years ago, I think I first entered when I was using a bigger camera and a tripod. And the latest entry, obviously we have mobile phones now because the BBC doesn't have any money. And things haven't really changed too much. I used to have more time to do a news report, a couple of days, 2 or 3 days sometimes. Now it's very much a day to go and edit things. And this is an example of a lighter story. Obviously, the stories are different every day. It can be a hard news story, it can be transport, it can be politics, it can be... But this is my favourite, characters and spending time with people, and especially stories that celebrate the local area, Yorkshire, like getting out in the countryside, into different people's lives. So, yeah, for me, I used to work as a reporter in radio about 20 years ago, and then I did some producing of longer programmes on the BBC, sort of half-hour programmes and investigations. But I always liked photography. I always liked taking pictures. And whenever I was out with a cameraman, I'd always be sort of over his shoulder and looking. And I suppose I liked cameras, so I picked one up and started filming myself. And then the BBC had a bit of a shift towards people who could report and film because it was cheaper and easier for them. And then there are other advantages, of course, to working on your own, because you can get closer to people. You don't have the kind of extra baggage, extra people to introduce. It's just me and whoever I'm filming. So, yeah, I really like it. Winning the award has made me realise that it's been quite a long time that I've been doing it. But yeah, it is a privilege because, yeah, you get close to amazing people. I don't know how much of an idea this one gives you. It's just one. There's a different story every day, and you've seen one. With the farmer, he was a good character, wasn't he?
He was. You said you get closer to people, so it's easier to make a story like this. Do you have a feeling that you can go even closer because you're female? Are there many VJs, female?
Yeah, loads, yeah. Lots of, at BBC Yorkshire, I'd say it's like 50-50, yeah, the women and... I mean, there's no reason I can think of why there wouldn't be as many women as men. Yeah, I think the phone probably, because everybody's used to using phones, aren't they? We're all filming each other, and I think when you get your phone out, it's just, people are like, oh yeah, they film their family, they film their friends, so if I get a phone out, it's quite different because if you've got a cameraman and a reporter, you can tell them, ignore the camera, it's only, let's just chat and ignore the camera. And after a while, you do forget the camera, or you might forget the camera's there. But with the phone, I have to say, so you see the circle, like, look into the circle, and they're like, oh, like, they have to look into the circle because I am behind the camera. Although James, my colleague, he says he films like this and he tries to talk here, but I can't do that because I don't know where the shot's going. So I have to be here and just say, it's okay if you look here. And they do. They're always 99.9% of people, they can do it. And it's always real, it's always genuine. And yeah, people are brilliant.
Has anything else changed in these years? So this is your third award at Prix CIRCOM. As you said, 14 years ago you won. The equipment is different. Now you have mobile phone, but has anything else changed during those years?
Yeah, I don't know if this probably is across the board. But the BBC, we have had a lot of budget cuts and we have lost lots of staff. So I used to have a lot more time to produce pieces. Video journalists were like an addition to the newsroom. So we had reporters and camera crews and correspondents who did politics or transport or crime. And then video journalists were an extra addition, which was amazing. And we had autonomy. We could come up with our own ideas and then go off for a day or two and spend loads of time with people, follow them around and get really intimate access, and then finish it, deliver it and say, now it's ready, and here it is for radio and here it is for television and online. Whereas now my job is very much on the day part of the team with reporters, so it's a little bit more stressful. It's each day you go to a new story and you don't get to choose the story anymore. It's kind of set up in advance and it needs to be ready, like that day, it needs to be ready because we're a smaller team producing the same amount of content. So in that sense, it's a little bit more stressful. And there's a lot of multitasking. I have to collect the car. We use pool cars at work, and then pick up my kit and think about where do I have to be because it's the first time I see it in the morning, the job, and then what do I need? And then you get there and you open up, and sometimes the app doesn't load on the phone, or there's lots to think about, or the microphones are not connecting, and you unplug it, plug it, and then you tried to say, oh, hi, I'm Nicola. We're going to be having a chat. If you sit down, I won't be a minute. Don't worry. Oh, no, can you stand there? Oh, no, try there. And all this crazy. And then the phone in the pocket is like, is it ready at lunchtime? Can you send us a photo for online? Is it there yet? And I'm thinking, yes, give me just 1 minute. Okay. So it can be. And the changes, I suppose, now we make digital, so sometimes we have to flip it and make it portrait and do something to appeal to a younger audience, maybe a 30-second version. And obviously the TV is landscape and might be 3 minutes. And then we are given extra time if there is an online article as well, so we'll have another day. So two days to produce like the TV, online, and maybe radio. So yeah, now I'm writing online articles to go with it, which is that's quite tricky for me because my skill is getting people to tell their story and getting their personality out. And I use very minimal words just in between, so very much writing to the pictures. And following what I see it, I find the shots, I find the sound, I watch it, and then I think what's the least amount I can add to get to the next part of this person. But in online, it's very much like you've got to paint a picture with like words. You need so many more words. So that's been quite a learning curve. So the big changes are more demands, really. But the great news is you get stories. They don't just get seen once on television and then disappear. They can live forever, don't they? Because they're on the internet and people can search it and find it, and that's brilliant. So that is pros and cons, yeah.
When we evaluate our entries at the end, there is a jury report where you can see all the comments. And you said that you really appreciated the comment from the chair of...
Oh, yeah, Peter,
Peter is the chair of the category, is here with us. Can you explain?
Well, it was just a little bit about what I've been saying, really. And I don't know if there are many video journalists here, but I just felt that he really summarised what a lot of video journalists will feel, because when you work on your own, it can be quite stressful. Like, I really felt inspired listening to the other speakers, like the idea of like collaborating and checking ideas and watching things and then maybe filming it again or changing it and having time. It's like, oh, that sounds amazing. I would love to have some of that. So, and in the judges' comments, he just sort of talked about the cognitive burden. I think like something about getting to middle age as well, of being a woman and having children and being quite busy. Like, my brain does find it tricky now because there is so much to think about. And sometimes it's just like, where do I need to be? Oh, I've got to climb up this moor, and it's a what 3 words location, and I'm looking at the map, and then I'm thinking, have I got a GoPro, and did my battery, then I'm filming and the battery dies, and I can't charge the phone because it's the same socket that I need for the microphone, so I can't even plug in there's just lots of things to always think about. So, and I think in Peter's comments, he just sort of said that that newsrooms should appreciate journalists more, video journalists more, and give them more support. And I felt like the judges could see, not this one because it's a sunny day and it's a fun report, but generally they obviously watched a lot of reports from video journalists all around Europe in lots of different situations. And Eleanor from Bulgaria was in floods and working every day, accessing inhospitable places, houses that were destroyed, and on her own with a phone. And there were a lot of entries this year, and obviously they looked through all these video journalist reports and got the feeling that, wow, like they're out on their own. It's not always easy on a sunny day with a friendly farmer. And they're doing all this with their phone, they're sending lives back at lunch. And so it was just nice that I felt that the judges saw what was going on behind the camera. I got the impression that they understood that it's not just what you see, it's all the chaos behind the camera. So yeah, I really appreciated that. And they talked about the cognitive burden, and they talked about hoping that newsrooms move towards supporting and thinking about the stories that they send video journalists out on. So that was nice.
You said it's very demanding what you do. How do you see your future? What is your
I don't know.
Where should your career
I don't
develop?
know. I do really love what I do. I think I would like to have more time to do it. So, but in daily news, that's not really an option. So, yeah, I really don't know. I like what I do. I'm not sort of looking for a new job at the moment, but yeah, more time to do what I do would be good. I like characters. I like features with people and spending time with people. So, yeah, I get to do that every day. So that is nice.
Are there any questions? Yes, please.
I've got a career move for you, Nicola. You talked about money, and having been at Beeb a long time, I know about money. How much is it money and resources? But how much is it actually the journalists themselves? If you had all the money in the world, for instance, the recent Panorama programme that took 18 months to do, would you not be bored silly? Is it not? I mean, you can have all the money in the world and all the producers, but ultimately it's down to you and your brain and your skill and your endeavour. Which is it? I mean, which would one help the other, or ultimately you can't throw all the resources at a bad reporter?
Yeah, I mean, what's the question? Sorry, would I?
Would you go and work for Panorama?
Oh,
and take 18
right.
months to do a 50-minute.
I would like to spend longer doing things. It would be nice, wouldn't it? Because you just get more from people, and you can polish it and spend more time. I mean, this is just what you see in, I think, maybe 2 hours I was there with him. So you're just rushing around, and you don't know what he's going to do next.
But
So it would be nice to spend a little longer.
But ultimately, we don't know you're rushing around. All we see is what we see. And
Yeah.
that, to me, is the skill of you, as opposed to the skill of a producer and a director and a lighting man and an assistant going, no, let's do this, let's do that, and you're going, oh.
Yeah, it is nice. It is nice not to, because sometimes, yeah, there can be too many people involved. I agree. Yeah. Yeah. No, just a few days, not 6 months.
Yes, there is a question behind you, Merit. I'm sorry.
Yes, do you think that this is the future of journalism, especially in the regions when journalists, no cameraman, no other stuff, just you as a video journalist and everything is on your shoulders?
I think it definitely is part of it. Yeah, I think that we still need camera crews. Some people do broadcast live on iPhones on their own. I think the BBC has a policy not to do that, and I wouldn't be comfortable doing that. Although there are locations, places where you might, if you were just at home, somewhere safe, and you needed to do a live. But in the field, I think you do need somebody to just look after you and be with you and be your eyes when you're looking into a camera. I think we do need video journalists because everybody's out there filming things on their phone, and it gets you there quicker. You know, it gets you into the story, and you can fire things back from your phone. You can send it back instantly. You can upload it instantly if you want to. So whether it's the future, I do think we have a place in newsrooms, and it's great that because it's affordable, we can give out phones to people and it can be part of what they do. It can just be an additional extra. Sometimes it might just be recording a few sound bites to get into the news bulletin. So you can still be with a cameraman and a reporter, but they could have their phone and send a few 30-second sound bites back so that we can get those online or into bulletins immediately and then still work on the TV report for later. So I don't know if it's the future. It has been part of the newsroom now for quite a long time, and it definitely works. I think, you know, video journalists have proved that they can do it without sacrificing quality. Yeah, so probably, yeah, we'll always be there, I think.
It's very inspiring to hear you talk about video journalism because it's very important for the regional station. But you talked about women. Do you have any advice to us how we are going to encourage more women to be video journalists? Because I think that's a problem in our station.
Oh, is it?
They don't dare. They think it's a little bit scary.
Oh.
Unfortunately.
I don't know. I mean, everybody uses phones now to film everything, don't they? I haven't come across it being a problem for genders. I suppose traditionally camera operators were male. I don't know why there are so many men with cameras and tripods. But there's no excuse now. You can't say that the tripod's too heavy or you can't carry a camera or, I mean...
I feel it's a little bit more difficult for women. They don't dare to do that because the technical things. Maybe it has something to do about age. Maybe we can invite you to inspire.
Oh, yeah, I would love to come along, yeah. I would love to come along. I can't think of a reason why a woman wouldn't want to film on be a video journalist. Because if you're a journalist anyway, there isn't, the technical side of it is not that difficult. We don't, listening to the other speakers talk about scripting and planning, I go out and I just think, what's my first shot? What's my last shot? And something for the middle. So just sort of keeping it simple for TV reports that are only 2 or 3 minutes long can really help. And you have to go back to basics all the time, those 5-shot sequences. Not that you have to film it in a very traditional way, but it's really good to remind yourself, hold your shots, let your subject leave the frame, write to the pictures, and think about sound. And then the editing's easy after that, really.
We just have to talk about it because it was very inspiring.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
How long is this story, and what has been its output? Has it gone on TV, on only digital? Has it gone on social media?
This one?
This one, yeah.
Yeah, this one. So there was an online article, the TV piece, and then I think Joe streamed everything on his channel, which was nice because that helped us get a younger audience. I think people were aware of the story, and he shared our report on his YouTube channel, and he had a lot of followers. And then there would have been a 30-second digital version as well. And it was part of, I think it went out, we have a agricultural show, which is quite big in Yorkshire. So it was, part of that, to feature a modern story on farming. It was, part of that programme.
How long is it? Is it 10 minutes? Or
I think this one maybe was nearly 3 minutes to 2:45. I'm just guessing, I don't really know. There are some other pieces you can see.
Should we move to another piece?
You could show a little bit of another one if you want. The paramedics or the dry stone wallers, or did you want to ask a question?
In a matter of seconds, he's speeding through the streets of Leeds. 7 minutes later, he arrives with colleague Rebecca Baldwin. The patient is 95-year-old Horace Phillips. He's wedged awkwardly down the side of his bed after a fall in the night.
All right. Where's that hurting? Yeah. Sore in your neck, is it?
So we found Horace, who's been on the floor for a good couple of hours. We don't really know what's happened. He remembers falling when it was dark, but that's it really. He's very frail for 95, he's on his own. He needs some kind of social help as well as medical. So we're going to take him down to hospital to get looked at.
Can I ask, so I think you're being very modest about how easy it is to make these pieces, because just from a learning and development perspective, I'd be interested to know, because we've done loads of training for people, we've brought people over to do filming and editing courses, we've people on the course that's here with Darko and everything, but it needs to have the processes. Like that wouldn't be made in RTE where somebody's doing a serious topic. It's usually about here's how you make coffee and stuff. Like we do have some video journalists, but how much training is involved? Do people arrive with those skills? Do you train other people? Do people train each other? How do you get, because I remember when we were doing the judging and James was saying, oh, you never get a cameraman. I was going, in a newsroom? how do you put out the news without a cameraman, like a camera person going? Like it seems to be that you've done a transformation in terms of how you delivered it. Certainly in our area, we do have video journalists, but they're not as embedded as that, and it's not as widespread as that.
I think it's difficult for me to say because I'm in my bubble, aren't I? And I suppose I can't remember. I think the BBC offered us a day training, but I've been doing it quite a long time now, so I can't quite remember. I'm going back
so you
20
only hire
years.
People who have that
We don't video
arrive.
journalist doesn't really exist as a job title anymore at the BBC. So I don't know if we are training people and bringing them in as video. It's just an expectation that most people will pick up a phone, and it's kind of learning on the job. But we wouldn't expect people to just go out and film a report like that. They'd be given a cameraman. There are camera operators at the BBC.
For that?
No, these are all self-shot pieces.
So you wouldn't expect other people to do it, but you'd do it.
There are, I think there are a few of us that would do it, but I suppose people do give me those jobs more than other people. And I think that kind of job is quite nice because, there's only 2 seats in an ambulance, and if you had a camera operator, the reporter would be at the back.
Yeah.
And so there are some jobs that naturally...
She was into camera, which you wouldn't have done if there was a camera person.
That is.
Yeah.
I think my background, I worked as a producer on longer format things, so I was always like alongside a camera person. So, and then I would sit in an edit with a picture editor. So in those days we had a camera operator, I'd be a reporter or a producer, and then we would go into an edit and there would be somebody with the pen. So I got to watch and then look at the shots and then watch the editor. So I always understood what you, and before that I worked in radio, so I really liked sound. So a lot of this piece, there is a lot of sound in it from the radios, and the first paramedic that I went out with, who you see later in the piece, was a critical care paramedic, and in the first 2 hours that we were filming, all 6 patients died because he only gets called to the category 1 incidents, which is where people's hearts have stopped beating, and so he's really there for the serious people. So I realised that the first 2 hours I couldn't use anything. I couldn't really go into the house because it was, and then even if I could, I couldn't use it because it was quite upsetting. So for those things, I'd just use some of the radio. His radio was still on, and you might hear some of the defib or a little bit of the sound. So, and then the radio in the vehicle of the radio, the operator coming through and saying somebody's there not breathing. So it gave you an idea of what they were facing, but without the sound really helped me out basically. So I think I love sound, and I'm always looking for sound. I think I'm quite irritating to camera people because I always say, oh, no, we need to do it. He hasn't got a radio mic. I'm like, oh, we'll just get in the shots. I'm like, no, I need the personal mic. So wherever they go, I need the personal mic. And I like to keep filming until I know that there's something there. Usually it's a little bit of something that they're not thinking about. They'll be speaking or...
So proportionally, if the news is half an hour long and it's all journalists and anchors doing it, proportionally, how much of it would have been self-shot and how much of it would be people with crews?
Oh, that's a good question. I feel like I don't want to get it wrong now. It could be 50-50, yeah, but sometimes it might just be that a video journalist has shot part of a piece,
Okay.
So we can nip out, or we might use a video journalist to go and shoot some, what we call like the news in brief in the middle, where we're just running 30 seconds.
But is it acceptable for people to go, I don't really shoot things, I wouldn't be any good at it?
You don't have. Yeah, if you don't want to.
So
there are people who will just always have camera operators, and there are others who. See, I quite like it. I like it sometimes. Sometimes I would love a camera operator, and I am given one. I'll be offered one if I'm doing a live at lunch, or if it's 2 locations far away and you need the help. So we'll be offered a camera operator, and we can be offered a picture editor. So it is there for me if I want it. But then other stories, they're just easier to do on your own, I think. Sometimes it's just extra layers that you don't need. So sometimes I really like doing it on my own, and sometimes I really appreciate the extra help of a camera operator.
Yes, Tina?
I just wanted to add something. I really admire your work, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Not just from this time, but also earlier.
Oh, wow, you remember too.
Yes, but I was an editor-in-chief for a station in northern Norway where we actually met out listening to, they've been the clever cameraman being out with a young journalist that they had to help with in every part of making a story. So please don't think about age or gender or whatsoever. Everybody can become a video journalist, and cameramen are especially skilled to do that.
Yeah, we have my colleague Ben Cryer at the BBC. He was a camera operator who became a video journalist. Well, actually, no, he's gone the other way now. He's just operating cameras entirely, but he was a video journalist. But usually it goes the other way. I think the journalism, sometimes crews are, and also there are editorial issues and the training side of it. It tends to go the other way, but it's not impossible to,
Back at our station, so it's kind of different what people use when you're shooting. Some uses the regular iPhone camera apps. Some uses apps like Magic and stuff like that. Do you prefer any kind of app when you're shooting, or what kind of programs do you have on your phone when you're shooting?
I haven't been able to test a lot of things. The phone I've got was issued about 5 years ago, so it's quite old now. It's an iPhone 13. I don't know what number we're on now, but it's a lot higher than that. 17, yeah. So I think I need a new one. And the apps, we have Filmic Pro, and I have used Blackmagic. I think we're going to move across to Blackmagic because Filmic is getting a little bit glitchy now. They're all quite punter friendly. I mean, I do use the apps because I like to be able to choose exposure and select focus and select different lenses. But some people do just use like the native camera app on the iPhone, and you know, you can get, I think if the content's good and the story's good and you're capturing the moment, you know, the bar is lower for the quality of the pictures on news. And often just accessing and being there and getting to the scene is more important than having beautiful cinematic shots. So as long as the sound's good and you've got to the moment and you've got the key moment, you can get away with a lot. You know, you can just give it a try on any camera app. But yeah, I use Filmic on a very old iPhone.
You have a question?
Yeah, I was actually going to ask about the apps. It's really impressive production. It's brilliant.
Oh, thank you.
So I was going to ask about your process. So you are editing on a mobile, or do you?
No, we have all been given laptops. So I have a MacBook and I can edit on Final Cut Pro. I'm not very fast on Final Cut Pro, and I find like the trackpad and the small, looking at things in small boxes, and also I find being on my own quite scary, like the pressure of having to finish it and then upload it and send it and then waiting, is it going to send? And then they're on the phone, I can't see it, and I sent it, and I just find that, so I'm quite unusual that I would rather spend the time driving back to base, wherever I am, I might be an hour away, I would rather drive back to base and start editing later in the day and lose that time, because I know I'm in the building, I've got the pen, I'm in a soundproof booth, I have the big monitors that I can use. It's fast, you know, it's the BBC system, which is really fast for editing, really fast for uploading, and it's instantly on the server. And I like the fact that the sound is going to be good if I'm doing voiceover, and I can shout for help because I'm there if it's not working. So that's what I like to do. I think if I had more time to do it, then I might like to, some colleagues do stay in their home studios and like to edit at home and upload at home. I like the fact that when I'm at base, all of the rushes and the content is preserved as well, and it's all going into the BBC system, and the audio channels are separated and preserved. When you're editing on a laptop, you know, it's getting compressed a little bit when it gets sent back, so I'd rather not lose that quality. And then when it's being archived, your channels might be, you know, compressed together, or you don't have your rushes to go back to. So it's a bit old-fashioned, but I always like to get back to base if I can.
Is there any technologies that would take some of the stress out of it for you?
I don't think, I just, you know, the more technology advances, the more stressful it gets, because it just like, because you can, you should, because it's possible, it's expected. So no, I don't want more technology. I'd like to go back to old cameras and cards, make it easier. I don't know, I don't use the tripod ever, really, ever. I just always use handhelds. That's one less thing to carry around. Technology to make it easier. I tend not to use lights if I can, you know. Not really. I wouldn't really. There is a piece to camera in there, isn't there? The other, if you want to do a little bit of the dry stone walling, it's not my best side. It's pretty. You know the third piece. Have you got the third piece? Keep going. Yeah, is it that one? Yeah, just play a little bit of the third piece. Maybe from this. I don't know from the beginning. Maybe from the beginning. I don't know where the piece to camera comes now. Just play it from. Try it from there. Okay. I would say this is unusual. I don't normally, because I had to take another. Oh, you'll see.
In a very new way.
Dry stone walling as you've never seen it before.
Yeah, that'll do. Just need to pin it onto some arting.
The same rules apply, stacking stones without the use of cement. Only here, there's the added challenge of a fast-flowing stream.
You can't do no job, it's just putting a twist to it, you know what I mean? It's a lot harder than building it.
I think it's coming up.
You
can spool through if you.
The end result is a leaky dam, and you'll see the membrane with juicy
Built last year, flowing through the stone, and then it releases it slowly over time.
So I've got my wellies on and I'm in the beck now with Tommy. So what's the perfect rock, Tommy?
Basically just one that fits. No, big one really.
Well, I'm in it.
Sometimes you're lucky, you're gifted, and it'll just slot in. We were lucky with that one.
That looks like a good fit.
Yeah, it is a good fit.
How important are those small rocks?
The small ones are just as important as big ones, really. And it just, basically, it's just a pulsing out water back.
Good man.
That's what we're trying to do.
Right, let's see if we can get you some underwater shots, shall we?
The work's being led by the National Trust and Yorkshire Water. It's part of a wider...
Yeah, you can stop there. But I mean, I don't often put myself into pieces, to be honest.
It's just like a two-shot rather than a PTC.
Yeah, but I don't often do that. My colleague James, who was here earlier, is much better at doing that.
Piece of camera is when you put the camera and go, hi, I'm at this Meet the Winner.
I suppose it's the being in the piece, which I very, very rarely do. I put that in. It wasn't the best piece, but I wanted to show the judges that I am there, you know. So occasionally you might see me, but it's quite tricky to put your phone on a tripod and then go and then look, am I in?
Yeah, because when you said you didn't have a tripod, I was going,
yeah, well, I did. On that occasion, I did take the piece to camera, the tripod, sorry, to do a little bit, because I knew I was in with the GoPro anyway, so I thought it'd be nice to show a little bit of that behind the scenes.
David?
Nicola, you said earlier that you were now increasingly assigned to items rather than sort of bringing them up yourself.
Yeah.
The three that we've seen, were they assigned to you?
Pretty much. Joe the farmer, I'd spotted him and I really wanted to do something with him. The paramedics piece, we were doing a special programme on the NHS that day across the BBC. It was a pan-BBC thing and it was brilliant. You know, every region had access to stats and ambulance services.
So did you then say that would be a good sort of angle for me because I'm a VJ and that would...
The producers just said, oh, that'll be for Nicola. Like, we need to get into an ambulance, so that'll be for Nicola. So, and then I get really stressed because I'm like, I'm out there for the first 3 hours. I was with the critical care unit, and I'm thinking, why have I been sent to the critical care unit? I can't use any of this. Everybody's dying. So I'm ringing back to base saying, and this is for a programme that's running the next day. Well, actually, it was 2 days later, and we couldn't change the date of it. So then I had to make some calls, and luckily another paramedics, the ones that you saw at the beginning, they let me jump into their ambulance. So we swapped halfway through. So you'll see a little bit of the other guy, but mainly the focus was on the daily paramedics, the guys that are going to the trips and the falls, and because that's actually easier to broadcast because the consent is easier because they're less serious incidents. Sorry, I've lost my train of thought now what the question was. So that was assigned. And then,
take this one. It would hardly come up top of the agenda.
Oh, well, actually, I grabbed that one. So I think it had been discarded by the planners. It was a press release story in England. I don't know if it probably all over Europe. You like dry stone walling is a really ancient craft, and you'll see it in fields all over Yorkshire. But it was quite unusual to use the method to as a flood defence to slow down the flow of water and also to re-wet the land because we have a lot of fires on the moors now. We have a lot of extreme weather at both ends, floods and fires. So when it came in, it was just discarded because it was a long way to get to, and then it was a remote place that you couldn't drive to. So,
but you could see the...
Well, I put my hand up for that one, actually, yeah. So I said, can I do that one? Because I like going up hills.
So is it the producers who need more training?
Do you know, our producers are... So occasionally you'll get someone assigning you something that they haven't really thought through. But in the main, our producers are really good and they get to know the individuals and what their skills are. So they'll see a story and know that I'll like it and send me on it, and they'll tend not to send me on stuff that doesn't work for video journalism. So no, I can't say that. They are pretty good at sending us out on the right stories. Yeah.
That's the joy of being an award winner, isn't it?
So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
We have
Thank
to wrap
you.
it up now because the conference continues.
Thank you. Thank you. So enjoy the conference. The rest of it.
You did it on your own. Yeah. He can't go right doing that sort of thing. Yeah. I'll just go over here, yeah. So please welcome Pekka and Pavaya.
About that way.
About that, yeah. Pavaya has a sort of a military background, and he was spelling out his name in Victor. So will we play a clip, actually? I'm not sure whether people have got to see it. So this is from Ulla. It's a 6-part documentary. It's called Right to Love. Kunsa Rakasata. Kersey is the Kersey Marie Lamatainen. And Elena, she's the director. Elena is the producer at the back.
They're at the back.
And so this came about, Elena, is it true that you asked, there was a call out, a commissioning call out, and there was about 100 different applications, and Kersey wasn't the favourite. You weren't the favourite to win.
Of course I was.
So she had to fight for the case to do it.
I had to fight.
There was over 100, and your background is mainly in drama and directing, and you thought you were going to pitch for a. Tell me if I'm correct me if I'm wrong. You thought you were going to pitch for like a documentary, a feature documentary.
Yeah, that's right.
And then you just lied on the day and said, I can do a series.
Yeah, exactly.
When they said, we're sort of looking for a series, that's an amazing coincidence because I want to do a series.
Yeah, exactly.
So it was,
Yeah.
I think we're all familiar with those type of media little, I think they're called lies, aren't they? Yeah. But we're all very pleased because then she got to make the documentary. And the reason I invited our two friends here is because the major selling point of this, or the major, is the access that Kersey got. Kersey is queer herself, and the only reason I say it is because she says, and they say as well, that they wouldn't have done it without her. And that a lot of the contributors said that. A lot of them were there last night, and they were saying that the relationship is so important. We can talk about it a bit more.
Yeah.
Pekka, it's about senior love in the LGBTQ community. And I was saying to you, Kersey, this is a terrible admission, but I worked in TV for a long time, and we used to avoid older people all the time. So you would, you go a little less of him in the edit, little less, and you will always go with people who look well and look whatever and look. And this is such a brave documentary. One, because it looks at an issue that is important and has relevance to people across all ages, but also because of the contributors who were all not 25.
No.
And their different relationships. But what I liked about it as well was that it was not just, we've done a lot of documentaries about LGBTQ, and when we put the lens on older people, we've said, oh, tell us about when you were coming out when Ireland was really bad, and then we had the gay referendum, the gay marriage referendum and everything, and it was just that prism. But this was quite remarkable because it was talking about today.
Yeah.
And still the issues, and it was so interesting. And also, as you see, Pekka and Pavaya were very honest about their relation. They've been together 40 years.
Yeah.
More.
Yeah, more. And they've had their ups and downs, which comes across in the documentary, and they're very honest about that, which I thought was really good, and they came across very naturally. And they're a very good double act.
Yes.
Even getting their names was funny. But so we'll just play you a clip. You should watch it, but we'll just play a clip, which is the trailer.
Ei ollut olemassa homoseksuaalia. En kuullutkaan semmoista sanaa silloin, kun mä olin nuori tai teini. Minä nyt on tässä ihan joku erikoisuus, että tää on jotain semmoista, mitä ei ole olemassa. Ja sitten pikkuhiljaa aloin käsittää, että ei tässä nyt ihan ainoita maailmassa olekaan, jotka tällä tavalla tuntee. Jostain varmaan oli sitten kuullut sanan homo. Ja sitähän piti katsoa sitten sieltä tietomäkirjasta, mikä se oli, toinen on minä ilmiselvästi. Olkaa oma itsenne ja olkaa rohkeasti sitä, mitä olette.
2 stars. So,
Yeah, there are.
so Kirsty, do you want to tell us the story of Pavaya and Pekka first?
About whom? About
I can't get the names wrong. Pavaha and, and Pekka. Tell us a little bit about their story.
About their story, I think they are better to tell about their story by themselves.
Okay.
But I can go back a little bit about the series. So actually, yeah, I participated in this competition. It was from Yle. I don't know how do you pronounce it in English.
Yle is
yeah,
good,
exactly. And they were looking for LGBTQ content. So as it was said here, it was hundreds ideas, and I was pitching something like 2 years, I think so. So I really had to have the passion. I wanted to do the series because I come by myself from queer community, and this is the key to the whole series. So when I started to meet my protagonists, some of them said, "Oh, yeah, we know each other from the 90s, like Pekka. We have been in the same gay club, don't you remember?" So it was so easy to me to start to make this documentary because I come from the community. This is just an idea that how you can make a difference if you do this kind of a series. Because then you build the trust very quickly, you share the thoughts, maybe you have the same kind of fears, you can make associations very in a smooth way, very rapidly. And the emotions, you exchange them, like the friendship, like love, as you know. So I think this was like a big process. And afterwards also that we became friends. So this is just what I wanted to say as a director-writer. And now you can tell about yourselves. Who are you? You have been married. Now what?
Spoiler alert.
Oh. Yeah, please. Spoiler.
So how did you meet?
Accidentally.
Yeah.
Accidentally, yeah.
No, we have both an active background in the gay movement.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pekka was in Tampere and I was in Helsinki.
Right.
And there was a meeting which I was participating, which we both were participating, not knowing each other then.
Okay.
But the moment I stepped into the room where the meeting was held, I knew it was him.
Okay.
Yeah.
As in him for you.
Yes.
I was
yes.
looking at a new friend, and there was no any interesting men.
No. Okay.
And he came 20 minutes too late.
Oh.
But then it began.
So this was in 1984. 1984.
Yes.
And this is the time, 84, when it was not so many places for gays and lesbians. I mean, it's obvious men were meeting each other in the parks.
Yeah.
Not only, but also. Is it Paavo?
Well, in Helsinki it was a bit different.
Yeah.
We had 3 or 4 places where you could go dancing,
Yeah.
meeting other men or meeting other women.
Yeah, exactly.
And but it was more difficult in the countryside, like in Tampere, for instance.
Yeah.
And you were quite you were in your 30s at that stage.
I was in my 40s.
40s, yeah, and you were.
In that is.
You were in your 40s as well, so
we
you
have a 10 years difference in age.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't tell us who's.
Yeah. I just mean it has been a different time than back then in the 80s, because already when I had my coming out in the end of 80s and beginning of the 90s, I had to live a double life. I think it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's amazing that still in the 90s I was working as an actress, and the producer said to me, "Please don't tell anybody that you have a girlfriend." I was like, okay, lie in the interview. So I was lying in the interviews that, I'm looking for the prince of my life. But really, I mean, it's not so far away, but it's, on the other hand, it's
so
past.
these 2 princes found each other, and the documentary, you talk a little bit about your past and the 40 years, and you were separated for a little bit during it. You went away from each other, came back.
No.
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 You watched it.
I have watched it, yeah. But you
Well, we
it
lived
wasn't
sep-
all
we
smooth.
lived-
put
we
it
lived
this way.
separately.
You lived separately,
Yes,
yeah.
because
yeah.
I had my
work.
job in Helsinki
Yeah.
and he had his job here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, well, not afterwards, during this time I went abroad a few times,
Yeah.
working
Yeah.
for half a year and
Yeah.
so in Germany or where was I, in France?
Yeah.
So we were separated, yes,
Yeah.
but there was never a question of being untrue.
Yes. And then during the documentary, you talked about how you cemented your relationship, how you
Wedding.
you had your wedding.
Yes.
Yeah. And how important was that for you?
Well, it was sort of a sign or a sinetti. Sinetti.
Siegel. When you have an envelope and then you close it with
A seal.
A seal, yes,
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. To a long relationship.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's so very important. And within the documentary, we see you picking out rings.
Sure, yes.
Yeah. And
We didn't.
there they are. Yeah. Wow.
We didn't have to marry for years, and then it was this documentary, and Kirsi
Yeah.
so said, "Why don't you ask Paavo to marry you?" So I did.
Her fault.
Yes.
It's
But
not
you-
my fault. It was one of the first interviews where I just asked, "Why are you actually not married?" And then Paavo Juha said, "Yeah, I have been thinking about it." And then Pekka said, "Oh, is this a proposal now?" It started slowly and slowly, and then I asked maybe I think 5 months later. You said actually there in that moment, did I? Yeah. So have you been so?
This
It
is the
was
power
there.
of television.
But then Pekka proposed me, which I did not understand.
So there were 3 couples and there was one
Yeah.
single man.
Yeah.
And just as this couple as an example of how you covered it. So there was, like you were telling me last night, there was 40 days of filming, and a lot of that was traveling because to and from.
Yeah.
So how involved? Because it's interesting to get the insight of people who are contributors in the program. How often was Kersey annoying you? How often did you see her? How intrusive was it? Did you feel?
Well, there were more active times when we did a lot more work, but then we had intervals which we did not even think of the project.
Yeah.
Yes.
So she picked it up and came back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a bit hard, difficult to say.
And were you in constant contact? Would you say, is there anything
More
worth
or less,
filming
yes.
this week?
Yeah,
He is an excellent cook, for example, so we were
Okay.
eating all the time very well. And we didn't shoot, we were just eating and enjoying the life.
And did you need persuasion? Did you need to be persuaded to do it? Or did both? Was one of you more keen on doing it than the other? The documentary?
Yeah, it was some kind of flow, and I thought I'm old,
Yeah.
and I have to leave something back, and this was some kind of testament
Okay.
for me,
Of your love or of your life?
my life.
Your life.
Yeah.
I think also for the community. I
Okay.
guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you feel that it was for the community?
Yes.
said so.
Yes. Because
Yeah.
Well, I did not even know what I was going into.
Yeah.
So I just played along then.
So Pekka was the brains behind it.
Well, actually, yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yeah.
But you're glad he did.
Of course.
Yeah,
Super.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Finally, I came out of the closet. You know.
Was there what was the reaction you got? Because we can talk about the impact media-wise,
Yeah.
but what impact did you get from people? Because this was a big enough deal on Yle
Yes, of
television,
course.
and you were nominated for a Golden Venla
Mhm.
award and
Yeah.
everything. Did
Which
you,
we lost.
Which you lost, yeah.
We got silver.
You got silver. But what reaction did you get from people you know, family or people you might have worked with? Did people's attitude towards you change? Did anyone say, I didn't know that? Or did they say...
It was wonderful.
Yeah?
No negative.
Right.
No negative.
And did strangers recognize
yeah,
you?
no, yes, on the streets.
We're
yes.
still recognized on the
Yeah.
street.
Yeah? Well, I recognize you last night.
You had seen the film.
Yeah, I see. But what do people say to you when they recognize you?
That we are very courageous.
Yeah.
And it's a very important project which we have done.
Mm-hmm.
And it has helped a lot of people, but mostly the comments come from the ladies in certain age,
Okay.
Yeah.
not youngsters,
What did they say?
not men.
Right, not men.
No, I think we have only 5 men who
Have
who
approached them on the street. Or,
yeah, well, or wherever it has
Yeah,
been.
yeah,
Yes.
Yeah. But I have to say that we have met young people during Prides.
Yeah.
In Tampere, but also in Helsinki, and that was a big surprise because so many people came to us and they have seen the
Yeah.
series, and
Yeah.
they were really young people, and that was a surprise to me because they said that there are no mirrors in the media. They don't
Yeah.
have the media representation is too narrow.
Yeah.
They don't see them still today.
Yeah.
They are not there. So
Yeah.
this was also a series which gave them a courage, but also because they were able to see their future.
Yeah.
Because they have
Exactly.
they
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
know
I thought that
anyone
too. Yeah.
senior, elderly, queer. So now they understood. I'm not going to die when I'm 30. I'm going to live. And
Yeah.
I get old, and I'm allowed to be queer, also when I'm old.
And it had a resonance, I would think, for young people as well, because it's
Yeah.
about love and emotion and
Yeah. Yeah.
very real things.
Yeah.
Well, we mentioned the other two. I thought Mikko's story was
Yeah.
quite telling. He was there last night. Are you friends with him now?
We see him every now and then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was. He has an interesting story, don't you think?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you want to share with the with people here? Mikko's single. Is he still single?
He is still single. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. He has been. Yeah.
I think he has been single most of his life.
Yes, he has, and he had one bigger relationship, big love, and this man was living in Greece.
Dramatic.
Yeah.
Finally.
Finally, yeah. And it's a spoiler, but during the series, I encourage him to fly with us to Greece and try to find this ex-lover again, and it doesn't go well, I can tell you. And the question is also, that man, his ex-lover, is more or less now living another kind of life. So it's a question about how do you establish your life to be able to feel safe, because many queer people, they have different kind of lives.
Yeah.
Because the society or their own, how do you say, own fears, they push you in a certain direction. But Mikko has benefit from the series too. Absolutely, yeah. He has now a closer relationship to his relatives.
Yeah.
It happened immediately after the series was released.
And just briefly about the other two couples.
Yeah.
Some of the one that
Yeah,
was there
it's
last
one
night.
couple, trans women living together, and they, of course, they get courage from each other, and the other one is just now retired, and she's fearing for aging, and well, they have also problems with the society, how they are accepted, and how is it to live now as a woman, and what does it mean, and the whole process.
Living in a small village.
Yeah, also if we think about Lissu and Hillevi, the lesbian couple, they are living in a small village, and it's an old wooden house, and there is a lot of work, and they get older, they have some health issues, and the past hasn't been very beautiful, because the other one has felt a big shame, which took like 40 years, I would say. And then finally now today she has also the balance, because she has her wife, they have also married, so the love is there. And the one of the title, Kun saa rakastaa, the love is the one thing I wanted to show in this series.
Mm.
Faces, when we get older, old faces are beautiful. We don't see them often,
No.
but I love that, and I love
Said
to
old face and you
show.
point to my face.
Yeah, no, but I can show my face.
Yes.
I love to show that there is love, there is
Yes, no, there's
relationship.
definitely, and
You
love
don't
does
see
come
that
through
too often.
definitely. Does anyone do we have questions? Because it'd be great to get an insight. Did anyone get to see the documentary? I know we're on your home turf. Anyone from Ula here? Anyone see it? Anyone have any questions about the process? So essentially, it was an observational documentary, filmed over a year, really, wasn't it? A year.
Everything.
Everything
was
took
one
about
year.
a year.
Editing.
6 half-hour episodes.
Yeah.
And different stories. Any questions from anyone? Anyone? Okay, I'll continue with it because you weren't filming. You had like a camera person with you. A lot of it was to do with the travel because of the different locations as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So the camera person had to travel quite far.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is obviously something in regional and in areas like Finland, and I presume Sweden would be something similar where you have to go from different locations.
Yeah, and she was also the DOP, the camera woman. She was not living in Tampere, because all the protagonists, all the characters, they live in the region, either in Tampere or nearby, like 20 kilometers radius. But the DOP was or is living in Helsinki, in the capital, so she had to travel all the time back and forth. And yes, we made also some trips to Oulu. To the north, and also to Estonia and to Greece.
Yeah.
So
To
there were-
Berlin.
Did
Yeah,
you guys
Berlin.
where did you get to go?
But that was before the series started.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there was, you told me yes, there was 40 days all told in filming, but a lot of it was, so that's like 8 weeks of filming. How long were you editing?
Oh, that was I can't say that because it was like how you call it? We had breaks
Okay.
between. But
And
I
you'd
can-
edit while you were on the breaks, or did you wait until you'd finished everything?
Sorry?
Did you edit as you were going along, or did you wait
No,
until the
no,
end?
No,
You
in
waited until the end,
yeah.
then you did the
It
6
was not
episodes.
possible because I didn't have time. I have to tell that I was doing the research and then shooting the same
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
And but everything all together, it was 1 year. I think it's quite.
Quite engaged.
Quite,
Quite a
uh,
big part,
quick.
yeah.
Gears had a lot of material.
Yeah.
And this was only a little part in
Yeah.
this film.
Yeah. So what was your ratio of filming to on air? How many
Normal.
hours did
Normal.
you? Yeah.
Normal. Average.
And did you get to see anything before it went out? Did you get to see it
Well, we
when it
saw
was
the
being
whole,
edited?
when everything was ready, sort
When
of
everything
ready.
was ready.
Rough, yeah,
yeah.
rough cut.
Yeah.
We saw that,
The
but
first
nothing
version.
before that.
And did you have any right, if they had said at that stage, Kersey, I don't know, don't leave that scene in, would you have cut it out?
No, we were talking about it all the time.
Yes.
Like, and they said, everybody said to me that we trust you. So
Okay.
go for it, continue your work. Because I was asking, do you want to see something before? I asked everybody, all the characters, and they said, no, go for it and work further. And then we had this session together where we watched this rough cut, and that was the moment when everybody could have said something like, "Oh my God, I can't do this.
Yeah.
It's too tense."
And you would have
Too
listened.
personal.
Yeah, too personal.
Yeah.
Only problem was our names.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they thought that they put only our first names.
Yeah.
And
To protect.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
We
one
said-
night I wake up and I was so angry I have ever been, and I want to see my whole name
Okay.
because I've told it for years and I don't want to put my name in the closet anymore.
Okay.
Yeah. So
That-
the family name was there in the credits because that was the question.
Yeah, but nobody was hidden. Everyone would know who they were.
No.
Yeah, but I have to tell that because we told now here the positive effects and so on, and the positive feedback. We got a lot of hate speech, rubbish on internet,
Really, yeah.
on online. Yes, if there was an article in the newspaper, it was full 600 awful comments.
And how did you deal with that?
Well, I read everything.
Yeah.
And I told
We
them,
never saw anything.
Yeah, I told them that they are not allowed to Google, go to the pages.
Yeah,
One did once, and she was so shocked.
Yeah.
And that was very little what she saw.
Yeah.
So I'm happy that they didn't go to the pages. But it was, I can tell you, it was awful. And it shows something about this time.
Yeah.
About the life.
But you must be brave and.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you know the other couples or Miko during the filming, or was it only at the end? Were you in contact with the other people, or did you know them
at the end?
It's at the end, yeah.
Some scenes
Some
we were
scenes.
shooting together,
Yeah.
where everybody was. We didn't use them in the series.
Yeah, but we didn't knew them before. We became friends afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. You seemed quite close last night. It does seem like a little group.
Yeah.
And was there any day you were filming and you were emotional at the end of the day that it brought something out? That any day that you can remember where you became emotional?
You did.
I did, yes. Well, I think everybody did, in fact.
Yes, me too.
But I can't talk about anybody else but me, of course. Yes, there were a few moments which I do not regret for showing.
Yeah. And why did it bring up the emotion?
Well, I was thinking of my first years in Helsinki while studying. I come from a country.
Okay.
And moved to Helsinki when I was about 20. And those years were quite bad, to say that in a mild way.
Yeah.
And this was in the beginning of 60s.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so just recalling it made you emotional?
I got a rage, I guess. I have been treated, well, I did not get justice, or, well, I don't know, big words.
Yeah,
Anyway.
but you were carrying that with you.
Still, yes,
Yes.
yes.
But you once said that it's citizen of second class or second class
Yeah.
citizen. That was the feeling what you had, and it had to do with this thing that where queer men were able to meet. It was the toilets outside parks, and the police came to control, or there were gangs who wanted to beat you up. So I mean, if you live in that kind of fear and the shame, and this was the moment.
Well, to stay in the closet and keep the doors strictly locked, really, yeah. Yeah, I still get a bit emotional.
Yeah. And so did making the program help with that emotion, do you think?
Well, I can't say. Yeah.
But he was brave.
He was brave,
To tell
yeah,
us
yeah.
the whole story and the pain and.
Well, it was about time to be brave
Yes.
as well.
Yeah. And Pekka, was this something that was that had an impact on your relationship? Do you think? Going through talking about everything that had happened in your lives.
No, I don't. Somehow I knew a lot of these things, or that it wasn't new information. But, however, it was some kind of surprise that he told so openly.
Yeah. So just hearing him saying it again, even though you knew it, had an impact.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, there are still things which I never told anyone, and I probably won't.
Okay. And did you find? I find you were forgetting the camera was there. Did that happen for you,
Most
or
of-
were you always aware?
We never thought of the camera actually.
Yeah.
We were
So
sometimes
that
really
was,
close.
Yes.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
sure,
we remember.
yeah, sure,
Yeah.
but that was the skill of Kirsi and Ditte,
Yeah.
the camera woman.
DOP, yeah.
Yeah. So there's just two of them there.
They began by filming our eyes
Right.
so close.
Right. Okay.
So
they-
we were used to.
Yeah. So after that, it didn't really matter. They sort of got all that out of the way first.
Well, somehow it was easy to forget them.
Yeah.
Because we were in the situation, we were in the
Yeah.
middle of the scene, sort of.
Yeah.
The only thing which was disturbing, sort of disturbing, was that when she said, "Can you take that again?"
Yes, I was just about to ask that. Because you're coming through the doors, you were
Yeah.
visiting different things, and I
Yeah.
say, I go,
Yeah.
now they're walking
Yeah,
through
when
as
the
if,
DOP says, "Oh, the light,
Yeah.
oh my camera, I wasn't ready. Can you?"
yeah.
No.
I think you gave yourself away in some of
I
those
think we
scenes.
got
you could
married
see.
about 3
Yeah.
times.
Yeah. And you chose about 25 rings. Yeah. Because you were going through the different angles, but it was definitely
Worthwhile.
definitely worthwhile, and definitely the you could, and also it wasn't just you being interviewed; it was you talking as you were doing things as well,
Yeah.
which was important.
There was no manus.
No.
Käsikirjoitus.
No.
There's
Just
no
like
Some kind of there was, but
no
some
manners.
kind, yes. So it's all improvising.
Oh yes, yeah. It was all improvised, but it was all true.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of honesty in
Yeah.
it. And did you map out what you wanted to do? You seem to plan things, even though there was
yeah, I
method
did.
in your madness.
I did.
Yeah.
I had a manuscript,
Yeah.
although there was no manuscript. But of course there was.
You storyboarded it.
Yeah, or some kind of. I mean, every director is doing it. Every writer, director, you have a script, and then you have that in your head, and then you change things, or you
Yeah.
wait. You have to be also open
Yeah,
to
see.
new things. I mean, of course.
Yeah.
Things were happening what we didn't wait.
Yeah.
Or
Well, you told them to get married for a start.
yeah, well, but I think it was part of the process that we were talking a lot.
Yeah.
Also, when the camera was not on, the DOP and me and them and everybody. So I think, but this is also what I do with my actors
Yeah.
when I direct theater or fiction content for TV. I talk, and actors sometimes say, "Don't we rehearsal? Where are our rehearsals? We have been just talking now like 3 hours." I'm like, "Yeah, but this is rehearsal, our talking, because then you get connected."
And were there things with all the contributors? Were there things you left out that you deliberately left out that they said, "Let's not go there, or let's not talk about that"?
There was nothing.
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 That's great to say, isn't it?
Nothing. It was then Elina who was protecting. Elina, the producer, very good. How you call it? Now you have to help me with English. Dramaturg.
Yeah, dramaturg is a word. Yeah.
She's great.
Structure.
Please hire her.
Yes.
She was protecting the series, the structure, but she
Yeah.
was also protecting sometimes the characters. She
Yeah.
asked me, "Is this too much?"
Yeah.
There was a certain point where she said, "Do we really need this?"
Yeah.
And this is good that you have a person, director, writer has a person, collaborator,
Yeah.
like she was, because I really needed that in this editing
Yeah.
phase and process, whom you can really trust.
Yeah.
Her opinion, his opinion, you can trust.
Yeah, I think she does deserve a lot of credit for the freedom she gave you, but also
Yes.
to give it. Elena, do you want to say anything just about that process, of your process with Kersey, or what you were seeing, or how much involvement you had to have to get the end product?
No, I think I was like she said that Kirsi and you all were so inside of the project that it was good that I was a little bit out, so I saw the same what the viewer will see. So,
Yeah.
and also I felt the same what the viewer will feel.
Yeah.
So I was like that kind of mirror for the between the
Yeah.
out world and the in world.
Yeah.
So, but otherwise I have 100% trust for Kirsi, so
Yeah.
nothing there. But
I mean, it did take a lot of courage from your part, because a lot of people go, oh, why don't you tell them to do this? Like, you did give her a lot of freedom, which isn't all that common amongst commissioning editors. You know, a lot of people, it takes a lot of courage.
But I think it was part of this competition
Yeah.
phase, because Elina was already then there. So then, of course, we shot 2 demos.
Yeah.
And then we talked about the structure. And I think this was very, very good, because then, of course, it shaped the series also when we went into the production.
Okay.
So it was like a preparation time also for a director
Yeah.
or for a writer.
Yeah.
To test, do we go this direction or do we go this direction?
Yeah.
So this was a very good process.
Yeah, I think it's interesting how you're not coming from the TV world
Yeah.
per se, that gets
I think
it,
it
and
was
then
good.
and that the people weren't TV performers, but
Yeah.
were, you
Yeah.
know, that's where the truth comes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Does anyone have any questions? Yes.
How did you find the
Characters.
yes, exactly, and how did you choose?
Well, I come from Tampere. This is my hometown. I have been decades now in Berlin. That's where I studied in the film school. And then I came back. I joined the competition. And then I have friends in Tampere from the queer community, and they said to me, go to a place where there is a lecture about the fashion for men during the centuries. And I went there, and I met there Paavo, Juha, Pekka, and Mikko. And Pekka and Mikko said to me, hi, we have been in the gay club in the 90s. And I said, yeah, that's right. Do you want to join me? We make something, maybe movie, maybe series together. And then Paavo, Juha, and me, we got to know each other. Then I went to the ladies group from the local LGBTQ rights association. And then immediately Hillevi and Lissu, it was like we became friends like that.
Yeah.
So then I knew this is it. So it's for me like they also chose me, and I chose them. It was like to, becoming friends or getting love or something like that. And the trans women couple, Tanya, the other woman, we met on the dance floor, and we were singing, and then yeah.
Was there anyone you didn't choose? Was there anyone you didn't choose? Was there anyone that you decided to go against?
No, there was a question. Elina also said, I can still think, are these the ones? But that was already the moment when they had chosen me.
Yeah.
And I have chosen them. So it was like the friendship has started.
Yeah.
The getting in love has started.
Right.
There was no like, I don't want any new lovers.
Yeah.
This is enough for me. So it's like, I think you also have to listen these
inner vibes.
Yeah, inner vibes. That's a good one.
Your inner voice on it.
Yeah.
And have you done you did publicity for it? Did you do interviews at the time?
Yeah.
You did interviews. How did you find them? The news interviews, the publicity.
Interviews from newspaper and also TV. You were there. Yeah.
They were quite okay.
Yeah,
part of the process.
Yes.
You're real pros.
We have to take our part.
Yeah.
Well, or like Pekka says, we have become official gay. Professional gay.
Yeah.
Professional
gay. What is a professional gay? Yeah.
Are there any plans to do any more documentaries, any follow-ups, or?
Not for me.
Not for you. You're finished.
No, I'm too old for that.
I would like to do.
Would you?
Yeah.
What
I
would
would
you
like
do?
to do the second season.
With the same people or
Yeah, but
different
not
people?
with Paavo because he doesn't want, maybe. Or with young people, or absolutely.
You kind of overtalk him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I would like to, because I also had to shut my mouth when I was young. So I really would like to do more queer content because absolutely, I have to do it. It's my task.
Yeah.
There is not much queer content, so I have told myself, if you are able to do it, do it.
Yeah. And
but
it's
I'm
not
not
just
the
looking
producer.
back, though. Yeah, but it's not just looking back. You're looking at what issues confront people today.
Yeah, of course.
That
Yes,
was really
absolutely.
important.
Yeah, I was just now, yesterday I was teaching, I was mentor for young filmmakers in Espoo, it's near Helsinki. And there were, whom I was mentoring, it was a young trans man, 21 years old. And of course he has his world, his vision, his thoughts, but we got along very, very well. We
Okay.
had something to share. I'm 58, so there is a age difference, but I think it was wonderful 2 days. So I am also close to the world from the young people today. Not only queer, also youth generally.
And you found Ula supportive for LGBTQ as themes? You found them?
Yeah. I mean, the whole competition was a good idea. Absolutely.
So
Otherwise, we wouldn't be here now. So.
Very good. If anyone has any questions, yeah.
I don't know how did you make it with the rights. Did you give to CIRCOM so that everybody can, or the member stations, can they...
Elena?
Elena.
To air in
Yes,
your
yes,
channels?
yes.
We can be in contact. I think it will be...
No, I mean, if you apply, then you say that, do you give the rights or not? Because
in the catalog.
I'm quite curious who will air
in the
this,
catalog,
or which countries will decide to air this documentary.
Yeah. In the catalog, there is this color point that
But I'm curious who will contact you.
Yes, please, everybody contact us.
Or which countries will be open to
Or do you think it's question about openness? Do you think?
Yeah,
Where do you
some
come from?
countries will Romania.
Okay.
Oh.
I understand.
I could see it being on like our player in RTE. Definitely, Aidan used to work for the player. I mean, I'm not sure because of the language, but you could definitely put it on. We've had LGBTQ themed things on our player in the last year where we like couple things with somebody could find and watch and find interesting. It's quite unusual in that way.
This is quite interesting. So you find it courageous?
Yep.
Thank you.
Well, it was.
Yeah, but this is now from someone who is coming from another country. So.
Well, they're definitely in different countries, and I can remember in Ireland, you know.
Yeah, I was there in the 90s.
Yeah, well then you know.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, where were you in?
In Dublin, in the clubs. Just when they opened them, 99. I went to every party. And every queer party. To be correct.
Excellent. Okay, well, so Kersey and Elena you can get in touch with. You can get in touch with Elena. And please get in touch with Kersey. No point in getting in touch with Pavoya because his TV career is over.
He might rethink it.
Yes.
Take it seriously.
It's like the...
It's a lot of over talking.
Yeah. He only likes to do award-winning documentaries. He's going to do the other ones. Listen, so I'm really, really pleased that we got the contributors. I'm really pleased we got Kersey just to get that passion of the program makers. I thought it was a very interesting session. So please give them a round of applause. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks very much. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Thank you.